Hello, my friend. In today's Reformer at Home session, we will use the Corefirst Level One bands and sliders. Check out the description for alternative options. We are moving through some Reformer favorites with some leg, glute, and core work in this routine and finish up with a hip opening stretch. It's a feel-good routine today, so find a place to anchor that core first, and then let's get moving and shine together. Hello everyone. I want to start by saying thank you for moving with me today, and I'm very excited and honored that you've joined me for this video. First of all, I want to go over some setup for the movement today. So I am using the Corefirst Level One bands, and I have them anchored at just about my chest level. So when I look directly at that anchor point, it's about at my breastbone, just under my collarbone. So if that helps you to set up and get the angles right, I have mine anchored in a door today. Totally understand if you're not able to anchor on a door and adjust the height, then by all means use whatever you have, and I think you'll be able to adjust the movement to the height you need. Okay, and we are also using sliders today, and I need some more space at the end of my feet, so I'm going to roll my mat up about 4 times. Looks like this. Probably won't be very graceful at the moment, but just want to show you how I got set up. All right, about 4 rolls there. I'm gonna sit right on top of that, get my mat or my sliders ready to go there. And then for the core first, we are going to put the bands around our legs all the way up to our thigh, just above our knees. It's very important that you don't put it directly on your knee or your kneecap. I really don't want you to injure yourself by pulling too much on your knee joint. So we're going to take that band. We need that band nice and wide. Let's see if I can do this with any grace. You're going to put it around your foot and bring it all the way above your knee. These are adjustable, so if you need to give yourself a little more slack, kind of take a moment right now, pause the video, and get yourself adjusted, okay? So then I'm going to face away and put this on my other leg. Okay, I know this feels a little silly, but we're almost there. All right, I want you to take your bum, put it about right on top of that roll of your mat if you've done that. Make sure your arms are inside the core first, and then gently make your way down to the floor with your back on the mat. Yes, the straps might hit you. I know they get in the way sometimes, but we learn to work around them. Okay, we made it to the mat. Let's make sure that those Corefirst bands are right above your legs. So you want to make sure that they're not wrapped around the sides or anything. Make sure they're facing the ceiling right above your legs. All right, from here, take your hands to your abdominals, close your eyes, and let's get grounded for a moment. So inhaling and exhaling. As you inhale, try to feel your entire rib cage expand. Even feeling those ribs around your back start to feel some space, and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Good. We're going to start to draw our abdominals towards our spine right now. Our hands can come by our sides, and you're just going to flex your feet. Make sure your legs are nice and parallel. From here, we're straightening our legs and then bending our knees in. Make sure that your heels have a nice spot on those sliders. So take a moment, get adjusted, and then really start to tune into that body. So my pelvis is grounded. We're stretching our legs nice and long, and then we bring our feet in parallel. Stretch nice and long and bring them in. And stretch those legs and bring them in. Okay, so if you are feeling like you want a little more resistance, you can move just a little bit further away from that anchor point. But I always want to make sure that you adjust these as well so that they're not really squeezing your legs too much. So straightening those legs, bending those knees in. Take a peek at your knees. Make sure they're nice and parallel as they come up. So they're trying to stay an equal distance apart. Knees drawing towards the ceiling. As your knees draw in, those abdominals flatten. So just warming up those legs, really digging those heels in so you can feel that grip. Start to activate those hamstrings as well. And you always want to make sure that you only go so far straight that your lower back stays grounded in the mat. I don't want it to pop off that mat. So stay nice and grounded and connected, feeling that connection between the top of your hips and the bottom of the rib cage. All right, now that we're nice and warmed up, let's bring those heels in, and we're going to switch to high heels. So we're making sure our ankles are lifted here and not sagging out to the side, nice and parallel. We straighten our legs and bend them in. Good, straighten and bend. You're gonna feel that your feet start working to grip those sliders a little bit. Make sure those toes are nice and spread. Ground into your abdominals, making sure they're supporting your spine. You're starting to feel that lift in and up. Few more like this, and then we're adding a little bit on. Let's do 2 more. And 1 more. Good, on the next one, we straighten our legs. Our toes come off the slider. We flex our feet. We point our toes, grab those sliders and bring them in. Here we go, straightening, flexing, pointing, working through those ankle joints, warming them up. Straighten, flex, point, and bend, straighten, flex, point, bring them in. Few more. We straighten, flex through those ankles, roll through the balls of your feet to point and bring them in, straighten, flexing, pointing, bring them in. Should start to feel nice and warm. Let's do 1 more. Good, nice. Lower those heels down, kind of shake your feet out for a second. Now we're going to end with some turned out position here. So if you have been in Pilates class, you would maybe hear Pilates stance. We're going heels together, toes apart. Now with these sliders, I almost think of the side of my foot being on the slider so that my legs can straighten out and then my knees bend in, keeping that diamond shape, stretching through those legs and bending them in. You're trying to keep those legs moving at the same time. Sometimes those sliders get a little squirrely. Just keep going with it. Good. As we stretch our legs, think of zipping up through those inner thighs. Give them a little activation now. Good. Straightening. Grounding through that pelvis. Making sure you're not rocking side to side. My hands naturally come to my pelvis sometimes to give it a check, but they can be at your side if that's better for you. Good, let's do 1 more. Keep your legs out there. We're going to separate those legs slightly, bend them in, And just do some circles, kind of just opening up those hip joints a little bit more. Let this be a little bit more free right now, but don't let it necessarily be out of control. So we want to make sure our back isn't swaying as we do this. Good. And on the next one, press them out straight, open them side, and we're going to stay right here and do kind of that bend and stretch in that second position. So we bend our knees in and then we stretch them out. Bend them in. If they don't straighten all the way, that's okay. Bend them in and stretch. Bend them in and stretch. Again, normally on the reformer, we want to get our legs nice and straight, maybe not locking our knees per se, but here sometimes reaching on the floor, people aren't as able to do that because the bar is not higher like it is on the reformer. So just work with what you can. Inhaling, exhale, press away. Inhale, exhale, press away, abdominals draw in. Good, from here, let's bring those legs together, bend them in and circle the opposite way now. I sure hope I'm circling the opposite way. I think I am. Good, giving those hips a little bit of opening here. Giving it some motion and space and mobility. Good. Nice. Bring your legs nice and parallel again and bring them back close to your bottom. Let's take our heels, make sure they're off the slider. The balls of your feet can stay on the slider. We're going to do some hip rolls. So we're going to peel the back of our pelvis off of the mat. We're scooping our abdominals towards our spine, lifting in and up, curling our tailbone under, one vertebrae at a time, lifting our back off the mat up to kind of a bridge position, shoulder bridge here. Good, and then we're gonna set our spine back down one vertebrae at a time from top to bottom. Really trying to feel in that middle there. If your mat is rolled up, you can really try to make sure you feel where that roll is with your back, and then let your pelvis fully release back onto the mat. We do that one more time. Let's warm up that back. We inhale. On the exhale, abdominals draw in, pelvis scoops under, roll up your spine, feeling through that middle section, and come on up to your shoulder bridge. Inhale at the top. And exhale, slowly lower down, one vertebrae at a time, feeling the space between your vertebrae. Good, and then pelvis sets heavy back into the mat. All right, from here, we're going into some shoulder bridges. So we're lifting now, our pelvis lifts straight up to the ceiling without that tuck and roll. Looks like this. So we're engaging, activating our heels into the floor so that our hamstrings turn on. We're lifting our pelvis straight up, squeezing our glutes and lowering down. And lift and down. So glutes kind of activate at the top. Our heels are dug into the floor so that the backs of our legs are activated as well. We're trying to keep our knees nice and parallel. I had to do a little bit of an adjustment because I felt my feet wanting to turn out. So we're going parallel here. Good, straight up and down. When you're ready, take your hands to the ceiling and up and down. Lift and lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Good, we're adding on with our arms now. On the lift, they're to the ceiling. On the lower, they go in line with our ears. So we lift and lower. Lift and lower. Good, nice exhale. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Few more. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Hopefully you're starting to feel it. And lower. Last one. Lift and lower. Good. Stay up with your pelvis. Now we extend one leg at a time. Extend that knee. Bend it in. Extend and bend. Good. I want you to make sure your hips not dropping. So we're trying to maintain that height of our hips. Extend and bend. Extend and bend. Two more. Extend and bend. Last one. Extend and bend. Good. Lower your hips. Lift them up. Let's reset. Lower and lift. You know what's coming the other side. Lower and lift. Lower. Here we go. Stay up. Extend your other leg. Out and in. Out and in. Good. Trying to make sure that hip isn't falling. That's extending. Good. Out and in. Pressing down through the floor with that standing leg. Let's do one more. Good. Take your arms above your head and roll your spine down one vertebrae at a time to release your pelvis. Whew. I am feeling it. How about you? Oh my goodness. All right. From here, we are taking the sliders away. I'm going to move them to the side here. And then we're going to hover our hips up one more time and do an awkward unroll of the band. Maybe it won't be awkward for you, but it might be looking awkward for me. So I'm going to lift my hips, try to unroll that mat, and I'm going to inchworm my way down so that my hips are back on top of that roll there. And I'm feeling them heavy into that mat. And I feel tension when I bring my legs up to a tabletop position. So it's not pulling. It's not like out of control pull here, but there's a little bit of a tension. So I can feel resistance on my thighs, if that makes any sense. Good. From here, let's go. Feet in straps, bend and stretch. If you haven't already, lift those legs up to a tabletop position. I want you to make sure your pelvis is nice and grounded in the mat. So I exhale, I engage my abdominals towards my spine, and then I lower one leg and lift, and lower and lift. Lower to tap my toes and lift. So I'm making sure to keep the shape of my leg and only hinging at my hip joint. So basically, like, I'm not closing my foot in, I'm keeping that space behind my knee. Good. Warming up those lower abdominals now. Take a moment, close your eyes, and tune into your body. Is your neck lengthened on the mat? Yes, you might have a little double chin action going on. It's okay, everyone does. Are your abdominals starting to feel the engagement? Scooping in and up towards your spine. Is your rib cage closed? And do you feel a connection between the bottom rib and the top of your hips? So if your back is arched like this, take a moment. Close that rib cage. Good. Let those arms brace your head. And from here, we're gonna stretch our leg long and bend it in. My knee just popped. Maybe yours did too. Stretching long and bend it in. Stretch and bend. We're going to add a head, neck, and shoulder lift on the bend if you feel like you would like to do that. So we exhale, inhale, straighten, exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten, exhale, bend and lift. Inhale, straighten, exhale, bend. Good. Scooping those abdominals, feeling the shakes. Good. A few more like this. Two more. One more. Nice. Bend your legs in, extend them towards the ceiling. Let's take some leg circles here to reset. Good. So let this be done with control, but give those hip flexors and legs a little break while still engaging those abdominals. Good, and let's reverse that circle. And you know what's next. We're getting ready to do the other leg. And we're going to start with those toe taps. So if you'd prefer, you can put your hands at your side again, where we started. Good, bring your legs together, bend your knees, and let's tap that opposite foot down. Good, so we're resetting here. Abdominals pull in, scooping in and up. You can also take your arms towards the ceiling. It's another option. Exhale as that foot goes away and reaches towards the floor. So we exhale, inhale up, exhale lower, inhale lift. Good, another option you can do for your arms is to bring them in line with your ears. Or of course, you can put them behind your head. You can even float head, neck, and shoulders off the floor if that feels right for you today. You know what's coming, so decide what your body needs. And let's move together however that looks for you today. Good. One more. Good, from here we straighten and bend, and straighten and bend. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale, abdominals draw in. Straighten and bend. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. When you are ready, go ahead and add that head, neck, and shoulder lift on the bend, on the exhale. Inhale and exhale. We inhale, exhale, scoop those abdominals towards your spine. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Feeling long through that leg as it stretches. Inhale, feel the length. Exhale, feel the engagement. Inhale and exhale. Good, few more. Inhale and exhale. Let's go 3 more. 2 more. And 1 more. Good. Lay your head, neck, and shoulders down. I want you to take the ceiling. Reach your foot away and we'll start to bicycle those legs. Reaching nice and long. Feel the stretch on your hip flexor. Your hip flexors have been working really hard this entire movement session, so feel that stretch. If you feel like you'd like a little bit more abdominals right now, we do have a couple more things in a minute, but you can always lift head, neck, and shoulders in this position as well. Good. Take a moment now, and we're going to try to reverse that motion. So we reverse the bicycle, reaching nice and long, letting that hip flexor stretch. Good. Nice job. Good. Bring both legs to the ceiling. You're going to turn those feet out. So heels together, toes apart, turning out from the hips. From here, you're going to bend your knees into a diamond shape, keeping those heels together. On the exhale, you're pressing your legs long on the high diagonal to straighten those legs. Zipping up through those inner thighs, bend and stretch here. Good. Flattening those abdominals as you exhale. Good. Feel like this. Zipping up, feeling those inner thighs lift and activate as you straighten those legs away from you. Good. There's always the option to add that head, neck, and shoulder lift here. I like to add it on the stretch, really feeling my abdominals flatten as my legs straighten. Good. You should be able to hear it in my voice right about now. My abdominals are shaking, my legs are shaking. Good. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. A few more, and then we're doing a little add-on. And we're almost done here. Good. One more like this. On the next one, we bend our knees. We tap our knees inwards, so we're turning our legs in. We bring them out again, and then we stretch them. So we go bend, knees in, turn out, and straighten. Bend, knees turn in. We're rotating from our hip socket, and then we straighten. Bend, hips, femur rotates in the socket, then it turns out again, then we straighten. Bend, in, out, straighten, bend, in. This is it, out, and straighten. You can add that head, neck, and shoulder lift on the straighten. Bend, in, out, and straighten. If your knees don't touch together, that's okay. We're not really going for a total tap of the knees, just that inward rotation. Let's go 3 more. In, out, and stretch. 2 more. Bend, in, out, and stretch. Last one. Good. Bend those knees in. Hug them towards your chest. Give those knees a little bit of a circular motion here. You can reverse it too. Good job. Oh, so much. Hug those knees in. Give that lower back a little rest. Good. And then you can take those legs towards the ceiling and bend those knees into kind of that happy baby yoga pose. Opening up your hips, rocking side to side if that feels nice for you. You can also straighten those legs. Whatever is feeling good for you at the moment, take a moment and close your eyes. Ground your pelvis into the mat. You can keep swaying side to side, rather, if that feels better. Start to inhale. Exhale. Let it go. Inhale. Exhale. Let it go. Good. Put your feet on the mat. Take a moment. Scoot yourself just a little bit closer to your anchor so we're not pulling on those knees too much. And then lay yourself back down. Find that diamond shape with your legs on the floor and just let them open. You can even press the top of your thighs away just slightly, feeling a lengthening in the back of your pelvis. Good. And if this is painful, try not to arch your back too much. Try to keep it still grounded into the mat. If it's painful, you of course don't have to do it. It's okay. Good. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Bend those knees in parallel now. And we're just going to let them be kind of like windshield wipers, sway side to side. You can let that opposite hip lift off the mat, stretching that hip flexor. You can keep moving through it. Or if it feels better, you are welcome to stay with that hip lifted, feeling that lengthening of your quad muscle and your hip flexors. Swaying side to side. Such a great job today. I know it's a little strange with the straps above your knees, but I hope you got that reformer feeling on the mat a little bit. I know it did help for me to have the straps on for things like footwork and stuff like that. It really helps mimic that reformer feeling. All right, bring your knees to your chest. Free yourself of your bands. Roll on over to one side and press yourself up, coming to a seated position, however is comfortable for you. Such great work. Take a moment, take a nice deep breath in, and then exhale, bring your hands to your chest, close your eyes. Feel your heart beating beneath your fingertips. Thank yourself for moving today and doing something good for your body. And exhale. Nice. Thank you so much for joining me. It's truly, truly an honor. And I hope you have a great rest of your day and continue to shine. Bye, everyone. Sincere thanks to you, my friend, for being an important part of the beginning of this channel. Every view, thumbs up, subscribe, and encouraging comment increases connection and really does help this space to grow. Please consider following if you haven't already. I appreciate your support and I hope you'll join me again.